This edition of My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Valve Performance, the team behind the Nordboard, Force Decks, the Groin Bar, and Human Track. Guys, the most important ability for all of our athletes is availability, and that's the absolute goal of Valve Performance, is to provide solutions to performance professionals so that we can get the right information to make the right decision at the right time for the betterment of the athletes that we get to work with. To do this, guys, they have a wide range of validated products that focus on usability, and having being founded by the School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology, they're extremely evidence-based and they're beyond transparent. I can tell you that our time using the Nordboard and being involved with Force Decks, we have been introduced to so many amazing people that have truly helped us become better coaches, have a better understanding, not just of the technology, but also what we're doing with our athletes. So make sure you hop over to valveperformance.com today to make sure you check out what they got. It's going to make you better and to do better by your athletes. The world of strength and conditioning is filled with some awesome practitioners who are always trying to evolve and continue to grow professionally throughout their career. The problem with many of us, though, is finding a new outlet, a new way, and a new perspective on the questions that we may have, whether it be programming, whether it be situational with dealing with coaches, or whether it be career advice. Because all too often what happens is we get stuck in with the same group of friends and the same group of colleagues that we reach out to for advice repeatedly over and over again. But what we should really be looking for is different perspectives, different people who have been through different situations who can help us make better decisions both for ourselves and our athletes. And one awesome place to start with that is the forums in the Strength Coach Network. In the forums in the Strength Coach Network, you'll be able to reach out and get feedback, input, and advice from coaches from all over the world, from everything from career advice to training modalities to programming. There's people there just for the same reason as you are, to try to get better, to learn, to share information, and to grow the field of strength and conditioning. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS. That's strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS to dive into all that great content today and get your 48-hour trial for only $1. I look forward to seeing you in the Strength Coach Network. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jay DeMayo coming at you with this week's edition of My Thoughts Monday. Today, guys, I kind of want to talk about a byproduct of what we do in this world of sport. Strength and conditioning coaches like to hang our hats on a lot of things. But when you talk to some of the coaches that I would consider to be some of the best to do it, some of the people at the absolute apex of what we do, along with some of the best sport coaches around, one thing that they talk about quite often when it comes to the role of the strength and conditioning coach or the sport performance coach or whatever we would like to refer to what we do is their ability to build confidence with the athletes that they get to work with, and how important that confidence is that the athletes build. And I'd kind of like to touch upon that a little bit today, because that can be done in a vast array of ways, and there are things that we do that lead to that confidence, right? There's obviously, the first one that comes to mind is the whole idea of look good, feel good, play good, right? If you lose some adipose tissue and you gain some lean muscle mass and you look better, you feel better about yourself, you have better emotions and all of those things going into games, so you then are more confident going in and you hopefully play better, right? Again, the whole idea of look good, feel good, play good, right? And it's something we've all talked about. It's something that gets on display quite often on Instagram and Facebook when you're looking at before and after pictures of kids, which is great stuff because, it makes the kids feel good, right? And when they feel good, they're going to do better. So obviously that's a simple one. Another one is the actual displaying of improvements, whether it be whatever metric you're looking at, speed, jump height, force plate data, beep test results, conditioning times, whatever it may be, showing them that they have gotten better, whether it's they couldn't do a pull-up and now they can do 2, or they couldn't do 10 push-ups and now they can do 20, or they couldn't bench 135 and now they can bench 200. Whatever it is, inches on their vert, tenths off their 40. Knowing that they've gotten better provides them with that little bit of swag, right? So they know, like, I'm faster, I'm stronger, I was this, I'm that, I'm the other thing. And it's more than what I was. So that makes the work worth it. The other thing is just the accumulation of work, right? Them putting forth that effort, them working, them sweating, them doing all of those things that we asked them to do, so that they know in their mind that they have put the work in to be ready for the situations that they're in. You know, there's something to be said for that as well, is that putting in the work is going to allow you to believe more in yourself because you've put in the work. You know, and I'm sure that people are sitting there hearing this and be like, oh, but Jay, you're the minimal dose guy, the 1x20 guy, the, you know, give them what they need, not what they can handle guy. Yeah, but we still work, you know. Give me a heavy set of 20 squats and tell me that ain't work, you know. It is work. It's hard work. And, you know, kids thrive off the work. And knowing that you've put in the work to be prepared for the situation allows you to do better in the situation and to be more confident about the situation. You know, and then I think that the next part that is what's most important. And I think that is a part that we can be better at. And I think that is a part that, in all seriousness, is made to be much more challenging and much more difficult than it needs to be. And that is individualization of the process allows them to have more confidence in what they're doing and how they're doing it. What do I mean by that? By making small changes to a workout to better fit specific needs or goals of a specific individual, you are now providing them autonomy and ownership in a program. We've talked about that ad nauseum, and people have been talking about this for a while now, and we would all pretty much agree that the more invested they are, the more they're going to work, the better the results are going to be. And then if you go through those past few, right, better work, better results, all those things combine to be more confident. But if they can be even more confident in the process, because we're talking with the student or the athlete or the kid or the young man or woman every day. How do you feel? What's working? What's not? What's important to you? How are we progressing? Where are you seeing improvements? What do you think we need to do better at? What do you think of what we're monitoring or what we're evaluating? Do you see where that carries over? Can they tell you your principles? Can they tell you what is important, why it's important, and what you're doing, why you're measuring it, and what it's going to help them with? Because that knowledge and understanding and that input and that autonomy into what they're doing is going to completely impact how confident they are in the process. And the more involved they are, and the more they understand, and the more they're involved, the more buy-in there's going to be, so they're going to work harder and continue to progress even longer. So I bring that up because I was asked in the local media recently about a young person who had the unfortunate situation of having a season-ending injury last year, and you know, they talked about how the weight room brought them confidence and how, you know, mentioned me by name. And I want to finish this by saying that it also has nothing to do with us by ourselves. And that's something that we have to understand as well. The bigger and tighter and more in sync your performance team can be, being you, your sports medicine staff, if you have a nutrition staff, if you have a sports psych staff, and your coaching staff are on the same page for not just the entire team, but each individual. And the moment that no one cares about who gets credit for what they're doing or where the process goes, and you're just there, all of you, working for the betterment of that person, that's when the true magic happens. And that's when they understand that you are 100% there for them to make them the best they can be, to help them be the healthiest they can be, to help them have the best outputs they could ever have in the sporting world, so that you can have them be the best person, player, and athlete that they could ever be, is the minute their confidence will go through the roof. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember that we are in a servant position. And in all reality, whether we like to believe it or not, you're not just serving the athlete, you're serving the coach. And you're also at times going to be serving the sports medicine staff and the medical staff overall and the sports psych staff as well. Because you need to sit there and make sure that you're doing what's best for the athlete, and it may encompass all of those umbrellas. So I guess what I will do is I will leave you with this. I think as our small area in the world of sports continues to expand, continues to grow, and continues to evolve, we are going to see more and more carryover, more and more crossover, and less silos of what we are doing and where we are fitting. And more of these bigger performance staffs that are going to be working together with the athlete, square in the bullseye in the middle of this ring, where everyone is working to do better by them. How can you, as a practitioner, do better? How can you, as a practitioner, get everyone around you to do better? Where can you possibly take a step back and say, you know what? I'm going to relinquish some things to these people because they do a great job there. Or I need to push through a little more here to make sure that things are being done best. Or I need to make sure that people understand what we are really trying to do here so that everyone is on the same page so that we are doing best by this group of young people. Because at the end of the day, what happens all too often is we sit there and we look at these things and we say, wait a minute, well, what about us? What about what we do? What about how we want to see this? What about our monitoring with that? What about the strength gains that we've been trying to do and the time that we need with these people? Everyone's taking their time and they're taking it away from us. Well, at the end of the day, if we really do have the kids' best interest at heart, maybe giving up some of that time to build that confidence and build those relationships and get them to be the best they can is exactly what we need to do. Because really, when push comes to shove and the rubber meets the road, we have to do what's best for the athlete, and that is by being a servant to the athlete, the coaches, and the medical staff to make sure that we have everyone's health and well-being and best interest in the forefront at all times. So I leave you with that. What can we do better? Where can we take our foot, put it on the pedal to make things move faster? Where do we need to step on the brake to take a step back to make sure that these relationships continue to grow and that we are keeping the athlete in the center of everything that we do and not taking the weight room and the conditioning work and putting it on too high of a pedestal for what they may need at that time. So as always, guys, truly appreciate everything you do for us here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. We'll be back next week with another My Thoughts Monday. I will see you then.